Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It is the 11th of December, 2019. There we go. All right, let me jump in the chat. Tell me how good my audio is, because I know it's fixed. I fixed it. What a pain in the butt. Unbelievable, but it's fixed. All right, we got Georgia Boy. Rebecca Fink has the wrench. Scrappy D. Kid Hertz, Go Key Inspections, Andy Trulinger, Andrew Miller, Sandra Payne, Susan Havens, Rich Carnegie, The Crew, Holbrook Life, Amber Lynn, Chad Dented, Chad D. How's that? Muddy McBear, Vitali, I can't say your last name, dude. I don't know how. I just call you Vitali H. How's that? But that email that you sent me, Vitali, yeah, you see, you're just gone. See that? Oh, actually, I just screwed that up. My bad. You're not a moderator. What a dick. All right. Vitali sent me an email asking me what was a good app to download YouTube videos. Now, I use two of them, so stand by while I check which one this one is. Stand by. It is 4K Video Downloader. I don't like it. It's tough to use. I use free YouTube downloader, and it'll download in HD, which is cool. But here's the deal. If you're saving these for posterity or for the apocalypse on YouTube, who cares what resolution it's in? You just want to hear what the information is. Who cares how clear the audio is? You just want to hear what the information is. Am I right? At any rate, before I told him to use a VPN blocker, and I couldn't have been any more right, because this just happened to a buddy of mine. So check this out, because this is serious, man. If you want to bitch and complain because I have sponsors, it is what it is. Like I've said a million times, I could have an unbelievable amount of sponsors every single solitary day, but I don't. I only pick the ones that actually make sense, that actually do what they say, and actually help us in our endeavor here. So check this out. My buddy's got a company and a website, and his website got hacked. 2 billion passwords were exposed, blah, blah, blah. They managed to shut his business website down for 3 weeks. Plus, everybody got hit. So everybody that was signed in, like I was, all their information was exposed. But I use an IP address fooling thing. I use Virtual Shield. And 30% off for the holiday, $349 a month. You can get it as well. It's wicked easy to download. If you don't like it after 30 days, don't use it. It's no big deal. $349 a month is a hell of a lot less than I pay for StreamYard. And I don't trust any of the entities that are supposed to be watching over us, because they're simply selling us out. You think it's a coincidence that everyone's getting hacked right before Christmas time? I use Virtual Shield. You can too. If you don't like the minute-long ads or whatever at the beginning of the videos, it's a video. Simply skip over it. Or don't complain about it in the comment section. It doesn't make any difference. It is what it is. I think after 10 years, I've reserved the right. And seeing how I have to pay to get this stuff done at a lab, which may or may not ever send me the results, I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. So there's that. There's a lot to talk about right here. And it's really, 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 really funny, because I had a guy from the UK email me, and then a guy from the United States email me the exact same thing as I was uploading this. So let me screen share this. I just took this video outside freezing my butt off for the last 40 minutes. And then strangely enough, the video came out to be 9 minutes and 11 seconds long, which freaked me out. But the moon, as it was coming up over the horizon, it was enormous. The further up in the sky it goes, the smaller it gets. Now think about this, okay? Let's think about this. Something takes off from Earth, it's enormous. The further up in the sky it goes, the smaller it gets. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? It's the video's shaking a little bit. I'll upload this later so you can look at it, because you might see things moving by it. You might see anomalies on it. This is 4K. This is good video. And I was freezing, absolutely freezing out, but I still did it. So I apologize that it's shaking a little bit, but it doesn't happen throughout the video. But it was absolutely enormous till it got to about 11 o'clock in the sky. And if you stare at it and look at it, you can see things like this right here are literally moving. They're literally moving. Well, Richie, that's a lensing effect. No, it isn't, dude. No, it isn't. I've got video of this thing coming directly up out of the ocean, and you can see this. You can see all these things moving around like they're getting into their places. This is a plasma. Exactly like scientists were telling everybody before we allegedly went to the moon all of a sudden in 9 months flat. We stuck a bunch of guys inside of a tin can on top of a rocket, shot them into outer space that didn't make any noise when they were landing. It didn't blow any dust around. All the shadows on the moon were wrong, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But right before that whole hoax happened, lots and lots of scientists from Germany, France, and Austria were explaining that the moon was indeed a plasma. And it turns out, if you look into an ancient book called the Book of Enoch, it says much the same. Do you see what I'm saying? But I digress. Now, with what you just saw in mind, here's another article that just popped up, which is just absolutely ridiculous, but it's from the Ridiculous Factory, we'll call it. You might know them by the name of NASA. So not only are the oceans rising exponentially, even though they're not rising whatsoever at all, which just blows me away. That's our new science. I've lived across from the ocean for 50 years. The ocean hasn't risen one iota. I showed you the paperwork from that guy that's job was surveying the water in Australia. And he did 100-year test that showed the ocean hasn't risen at all. Not at all in 100 years. That's science. What he did was they did test and test year after year after year after year for a century. And then they came to the conclusion the ocean hasn't risen. It went up a little, came down a little, and up a little, and then down a little. But it hasn't risen, and it's not rising, and neither is the Atlantic. So apparently Greta and everybody else that's concerned, they must be thinking of a different ocean that we haven't found yet. Maybe it's the one that Elon Musk's car on Mars is rolling through or whatever. But much like that, here's another story. The moon, according to NASA, is now shrinking. And it may be generating moonquakes. So the moon, the one that I just saw that was so unbelievably large that somebody in the UK and somebody in the United States both emailed me at the same time I was uploading that video, because I took that video today. The moon was enormous, but according to NASA, it's now shrinking. Because why not? Why not? You got to say stuff about the moon. I mean, you just got to keep people on the edge of their seat. But according to NASA, once again, the moon is shrinking. I mean, look at these pictures. That's clearly a real picture. I mean, look at that. That isn't a close-up picture of pudding curing in the refrigerator or plastic or anything. But I'll tell you what, whatever that is, it ain't real. You can see that right now. I don't know what this is, but look into something called close-up pictures. They'll take a picture with a camera, incredibly close up of a piece of plastic, and it'll look like this on a microscopic level. And I'm pretty sure that's what our good friends over at NASA are doing right now, because they certainly did not go to the moon. But I digress. Yeah, don't. Big Sib, you're a dick. You're texting me while I'm live streaming, asking me what channel. There's 2 channels, dude. Come on. I'm positive you're figuring it out, or at least hearing me live. I invited Big Sib if he wanted to come on. I like when he comes on. So at any rate, now I'm all discombobulated. So let me jump back in the chat real quick. Autumn says hi with a little hand. See, that worked because I saw it. Vincent Dolce, what's up, brother? Lou Falco, what's up, brother? Angel Bulldog has the wrench. Coon Yank Company, no worries, brother. Lindsay Staley, Lady Yankee Rebel. Lady Yankee Rebel is from Jersey. Nice, nice. Tim Zoller. Oh, it appears that the chat is frozen. That's excellent. Yeah, the chat's frozen. Are we live? Are you kidding me? Well, that's a new one, I guess. Stand by. Okay, so I've lost the chat on my end, which is really strange. Okay, we're still live. And then there we go. All right, sweet. It happens. Okay, now the chat is going exponentially fast. Check this out. All Chris 420 Hosen saying WTF, WTF. Google is in the chat with us as well. Even though they don't let us live stream on YouTube anymore, we have to go through a third party like StreamYard, which then we have to pay for, which then somehow paying for it slows it down exponentially. Google is still in the chat. And if you swear, which I don't really need people swearing or saying stupid racial shit in the chats or anything racist. Did I just say that? They will block you. I mean, no, they won't block you. They'll censor you so no one sees your comment. At any rate, Anita Spencer, for Red, Craig Spurgeon, Organic Mechanic. What's up, brother? Just click on the chat and it stops. It's pretty easy. Jack Johnson, Maduke Hamill, Guy Fox, Susan Havens, and Kimberly Wilson. I just said that and you did it and it happened to you. You see that? So there you go. Let me swear. There you go. All right, there you go. There you go. There you go. Typing, it's just amazing to me. I just warned you what not to do, so keep doing it. Yep. Lizzie, look at it. Just happened to you. See the word you used? Any word that can be construed as racist, they're going to block your comment. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's new and it's really bad. Half the comments I'm looking at right now are blocked and it's annoying to me. The only people that can stop that are you. So it's on you, man. Have at it. There you go. There you go. There you go. Yelling in the comment section of a live stream it doesn't affect the world. It just affects the live stream. Do you follow what I'm saying? At any rate, Michelangelo, you still got, I'm going to undo that for you, but look at that. He's still got, wow, they're good. They are good. All right. Anyways, let's move on. Seeing how it is December 11th and it's almost the 25th. It is almost not the 25th. It's almost the beginning of Saturnalia. Let me show you something that you may or may not be aware of. If you followed my channel for any length of time, you're well aware of it. But let's do this as a refresher course for the new folks. Whoever just gave me $5, I don't know. Please don't. All right, stand by. Here we go. Let me pause this right now. Somebody just did the super chat thing. I can see it up here. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's awesome. But don't do that because to be perfectly honest, I don't even know where that money goes at all. I'm not one of those channels that does a live stream every single solitary night so that you send me money so that I'll mention your name so you feel like you're part of a collective because some people need that. We're all God's children. Some of us are good children, some of us are bad children, but we're all God's children. So let's all belong to that family. Do you follow? Don't pay money to somebody you don't even know just so they say your name. I'll say your name at some point or not, but please don't send me money on this thing because to be completely honest, I have no clue who benefits from it whatsoever at all. I have sponsors. I just explained that. I've had them for a couple of years. I use them very sparingly, but I'm paying for this to get this spiderweb crap analyzed just for myself. I mean, no one's going to care, but I'm still doing it. Luke Patterson, you're out. How's that? Because your comment is stupid. And if you were at my house, you'd be out too. So there's that. At any rate. All right. I explained the super chat thing. No disrespect. I appreciate it. It's cool. I'm glad that. Thank you. But don't, because I don't even know who it goes to. So there is that. Thank you, Michelle Cornett. All right. Let me get back to what I was talking about. Check this out. This is how they get ready for the holiday season in Europe. Understand that we're Americans and we're really, really, really separated from the rest of the world. The only thing people know about is what they see on television. You see this? Krampus, the dark side of St. Nicholas. Krampus, whose name is derived from the German word Krampen, meaning pickaxe, is said to be the son of hell in Norse mythology. Originally purely a pagan creation, said to be the son of hell. You just read that. But he got grafted onto Christian tradition as a sidekick of St. Nicholas. The legendary beast also shares characteristics with other scary demonic creatures. Well, let me tell you something. Everything about Christmas, all of it is demonic. It comes from Saturnalia, which was a license to rob, rape, steal, and murder people with no implications, no consequences. The Vatican simply glommed onto it and used it because the Vatican is the most evil entity on earth for the most part, big time. Do you see what I'm saying? And this is how they celebrate this in other countries right out in the open. And it's been going on for absolutely ever. I made videos about this for years and years and years. Am I sharing this? I am. That's awesome. This is what they do in Austria, Germany, the UK. They do this all over the place. These guys dress up as happy, friendly, great goat-horned half-demons with scraggy coats of fur, lolling tongues, and threatening bundles of birch branches. And they whip and they scare people, but it's all good fun. But let me tell you what. What do your eyes see? What are you seeing? Is that fun or is that a monstrous demon thingamabob? Exactly what it is. Because this is what you would want to do on Saturnalia, because Saturnalia, once again, was a license to drink, murder, rape, be gay, probably pedophilia. I can't find anything. And actually finding any real information on Saturnalia on the new Google platform is really, really tough to do. And according to this article, anyways, Austrian police say the record rising violence and drunkenness in relation to this is a problem. Well, what do you think's going to happen when people are lighting fires and dressing up like monsters and drinking and such? Of course, things are going to get bad. That's them sticking to the traditional roots of Saturnalia from what it came from originally. Do you see what I'm saying? Let me show you this real quick. Big Sip, I was just talking about you. I know you heard me. Like, I can't believe I invited this dude on, and then he texts me while I'm live streaming. Squirrels, man, squirrels. All right, here, let's see this. I tried to find the most legit info on Saturnalia that I could, but last year, the year before, and the year before, I did videos on Saturnalia. There should hopefully still be links there. So go check those out because there are 3,000 videos up to this point still right now. But finding info now is very, very difficult. Okay, so this is at ancientfacts.net. We are looking forward to the upcoming holidays, especially Christmas. Children love it because their parents give them presents, whereas adults see it as a chance for the family reunions. In general, Christmas is known to bring good health. That doesn't make any sense. Good health. You don't get good health from Christmas, but I digress. Enjoy back into everyone's home. However, what many people do not know is where it all began and what the origins of Christmas are. Well, we do. Saturnalia was a Roman festival in honor to the deity Saturn. It was celebrated. The celebration started on December 17th. That's the one thing. He says it was celebrated on December 17th, but it wasn't. It started and is considered to be the forerunner of Christmas as we know it because the Romans used to give each other gifts. Well, I guess if raping somebody, murdering somebody, or being gay with somebody is a gift, they sure did give gifts as well. Saturnalia was a celebration of the Roman god Saturn, the god of wealth, well-being, and agriculture. The poet Catullus called it the best of the days. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, and that's it. That's it. That's the whole thing. All right, let me see if more is here. Here we go. Here's the naked chicks, the naked dudes, and naked children. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a naked chick-ish. Is that lady naked? Is that a statue? At any rate, And notice these little kids have wings. Nice. They're cherubim. Here we go. Even though it began as a celebration of just one day, it proved so popular among the Romans it ended up being celebrated for an entire week, starting as a one-day holiday on December 17th, I told you, and then it came to be a 3-day and finally a one-week festival ending on December 23rd. The Romans realized that the moments when they were enjoying themselves should last a bit longer because killing all those Christians can sure bring you down. I mean, unless, of course, you throw a couple of lions or bulls or dragons or dinosaurs or statues of Molech, that spices it up a bit. But other than that, it can get pretty tedious. But again, I digress. Saturnalia was a good opportunity for people to relax, forget about their liabilities, celebrate their good fortune, eat good food, and have great sex. Look at that. With that dude, with Mike Brady, with these people, with these kids, have at it. It's Saturnalia. It's all good. Certainly Christians wouldn't celebrate this holiday. And apparently over the years, the pictures, they were losing resolution, but I digress. During the period of Saturnalia, Roman courts were closed, which led to the state of complete anarchy. No one was to be punished for damaging property, injuring somebody during the festivity. In addition, a ban on gambling was lifted, which was one of the most severe infringements during the Romans' rule. Imagine that. One of the most severe infringements was gambling. You could kill somebody, you could rape a child, blah, blah, blah. They called this festivity Lord of Misrule. The Romans strictly obeyed it, thereby believing they would destroy the dark forces. Let's stand by for a sec real quick. Let me pose a question to the crowd, shall I? Do you think I should read children's books, reading kids to sleep? I got a good voice for it, right? I'm a good storyteller. All right, I'm just kidding. At any rate. All right, I don't even know what I just did with this. All right, stand by. Okay, I lost that. Okay, social roles were inverted during Saturnalia. In addition to the ubiquitous misrule during Saturnalia, all social positions changed. Those who have been masters throughout the years became slaves, and vice versa. Strange it may sound, but the masters usually served their slaves during Saturnalia. Seemed like the slaves would have just cut their throats and walked away. Like, yeah, hey, check it out. I'm done being a slave. But, it is what it is. Look at America. Look at Americans. I got a gun. Yeah, go pay your property tax. You're going to jail. But I digress. They also had to give up on everything that made them masters, such as clothes. Exactly. Hey, take your clothes off so you can't be my master. So everybody was basically this. I'm telling you. These people are all naked. They're dancing around trees. They're laying down with beasts. They're laying down with children. It's all good. They were also supposed to give up on, all right. Moreover, children were to act like their parents. This meant they were supposed to be loud and annoying and even drink a glass of wine. Why not get the children drunk, right? Why wouldn't you? And here we go. Ho, ho, ho came from Saturnalia. Low Saturnalia was a common way of salutation during this festivity. It was used for exclaiming positive and triumphant emotions during Saturnalia. Over time, IO turned into low. As the time was passing by, eventually this cheering sound became ho. So when you hear that famous laughter of Santa Claus, remember that it was the Romans who invented this famous greeting. And I think finally, oh, wait a minute, stand by. They're going to tell you how Christians are walking around celebrating the birth of baby Jesus. What does Christmas mean to you? It's the birth of baby Jesus. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. At any rate. All right. There is no doubt that that Christmas makes people relaxed and free them from thinking about current affairs. There is also the case in the Roman Empire during Saturnalia. Many had to try to overthrow the government. They used the time of Saturnalia as a sort of distraction. One of the most famous conspirator, Catiline, had a plan of setting the city on fire. Fortunately, the plot was uncovered and stopped. The plot was uncovered and stopped. Well, that's good. All right, here's the last. It's got to be the last one, right? Silly Christian, you do know your calendar is pagan, right? Ooh! It is the last one. Saturnalia became a Christian holiday. In the 4th century, the Roman Church adopted Christianity, thus turning Saturnalia into Christmas. However, the symbols representative of Saturnalia had to be changed for the Christian ones. So it was Jesus who was to be celebrated on Christmas. Booze was replaced with eggs, and singing naked in the trees was replaced with modern caroling. So think about that. Think about that when everybody's doing what they're doing. Jesus, almost most certainly, in my estimation and many others, was born on September 11th, because the amount of things that have happened on the earth on September 11th throughout history are staggering. The fact some of the most monumental things the New World Order has done against humanity have always been marked on September 11th. The fact that September 11th happened on September 11th, and that was like the biggest MK Ultra satanic ritual, mass robbery, humans giving up their rights celebration ever. 𝗗𝗲𝗰𝗲𝗿, the Twin Towers. One came down, the other came down, one went back up. Do you see what I mean? The wheat and the tares. And they were joined. And then they nailed an enormous pentagon, which is a pentagram. It was all an enormous, a massively scaled satanic ritual in front of everybody, and everyone that saw it, just like your dollar bill, was part of it. And it affected all of us. I stood in front of my television, listening to Howard Stern, watching it on CNN. I shed one single solitary tear because Richie doesn't get all cry, but I did. And I called my recruiter and I said, I need to come back in because we're going to war. And he said, you're a felon. I'll call you back if it gets really bad, but for right now, we're good. Thanks for stopping by. Click. It worked on all of us. And now look where we're at. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely unbelievable. Let me show you this article by Dr. 𝗦𝗵𝗿𝗲𝗍. Dr. 𝗦𝗵𝗿𝗍. Here we go. This is from last year, if I remember correctly. My bad. This was from September 11th, 2016. This is 3 years ago. It's been a while. This is from Michael S. Heiser. He's been in some of the videos that Gons from Face Like the Sun has done, Age of Deceit, etc. And he's hit on a lot of good points, but, take everything for what it is. He wrote this article on September 11th, 2016. I've already said that. You try doing what I do without a script, and sometimes you repeat yourself. But that's when you say, but I digress. Many readers will know that I believe the actual birth date of Jesus was September 11th, 3 BC. See, I don't understand that. How is it 3 BC before Christ if Christ was born then? I don't get that, but I digress. See how that works? This isn't based on any original research on my own. Rather, it is based on the works of E.L. Martin's The Star That Astonished the World, which can be read for free. Okay, I don't know if I'm sharing that right now, but I'm going to throw this in the chat if you guys want to check out this link. Plus, this will be linked in the comments afterwards, anywho. So it's good stuff. Did I mess this up? I did, right? Stand by it. And there's also a short YouTube video of him, and there's a link. I will leave a link to this, Dr. 𝗦𝗵𝗿𝗍, the Naked Bible blog, so you can check this stuff out on your own. But at any rate, most academics are unaware of Martin's research because he wasn't a member of the Biblical Studies Guild. Others reject it out of hand because of Martin's involvement with the old worldwide Church of God. The quality of one's research, however, doesn't depend on having a PhD in biblical studies or whether one is doctrinally correct in all areas. I don't buy Martin's views on other things, but I find his work on the birth of the Messiah persuasive, and it has long history of endorsement in planetariums. And he goes on and on and on and on, and I'm not going to read this because we'll be here till the break of dawn. You see what I mean? But I will leave links in the comment section, and I will put a link to this right now in the chat. And if you're legit and you really want to know what's up, check this out. Richie from Boston does not engage in Christmas. I can't. It bummed out Mrs. RFB, so that's why we're not together. My father and my stepmother, they love Christmas. I don't dig it. I don't want to ruin it for everyone else. So as you've seen last year, the year before, and the year before, I get in my vehicle and drive away. And sometimes, some days I just drove around Boston. Sometimes I went to the woods. It depends. You know what I'm saying? I just cannot be that type of hypocrite. And that's just a fact. If you know me, you know it's true. If you can't tell by now, then leave it in the comments because you're going to anyways. But seeing how I'm talking about September 11th and explaining what I think about this, well, let me show you all the wacky stuff that's happened on September 11th. Look at that. You see that? Am I screen sharing? I am. That's awesome. Look at that. 4 things have happened on September 11th. I'm just kidding. It's 260 things, and not even all of them are here. A battle ended. Charles the Great crowns the emperor. The Roman Catholic practice of public adoration of the Blessed Sacrament spreads. Yeah, blah, blah. This, that, and the other thing. War. People destroyed. Theology. A lot of war. A lot of things kicked off on September 11th because these people, unlike us, aren't guessing if Jesus was born on September 11th. That's what the sacred knowledge is. That's what communicating in symbols over the years since the Tower of Babel. These people know the real history and they use it against us. They always have and they always will. It's why they pulled off September 11th on September 11th. You know what I'm saying? And people don't even know it. And instead, everybody's walking around like an absolute jackass, engaging. I've even told people, and they're like, yeah, I know it's a pagan holiday, but still. Easter is not what you think it is. It's a pagan. Yeah, I know that, but still. Well, then there you go. There you go. I'm going to guess that's some sort of blasphemy. I don't know exactly, but if you're well aware you're not celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ, Yahushua, but you're just going along to get along, that might piss him off. Do you know what I mean? Just saying. But I mean, look at this. Look at all these blue highlighted dates are on September 11th. And I'm just glossing over it real quick. And all I'm seeing is war. And then this dude, Vladimir Kutz, he ran a world record. Well, then there you go. But most of it's war and war and war and war. So yeah, I would definitely have to guess they know what September 11th is just based on the one September 11th activity they pulled off, because September 11th, 2001 in New York City and at the Pentagon was no joke. No joke. It is just as bad as them getting everyone to carry around a dollar bill with all that information on the back of it. The one piece of paper currency, or the one promissory note that's never changed because they can't change it. They need that pyramid on the back. They need Novus Ordo Seclorum on the back. They need that there because it's right there in front of your face, and nobody, the most people ever do with a dollar besides handing it to somebody else for something else is roll it up to snort something. Nobody looks at the back. And when you do look at the back and then you do look at and show it to somebody, you're an asshole. Oh, you're so dumb that you figured that out, the thing that I've had in my pocket. It's called a talisman. And what it's doing is every time you use it, you're in the spell. You're in the black magic. Do you follow? You see what I'm saying? At any rate. Let me show you this one other thing, too. You might find this one strange, because I did. That movie, The Purge, everybody was so concerned about. I find that strange. Me and Big Sid were just talking about The Matrix, and Matrix 4 gets its 2021 release date. Strange, queer, unusual, peculiar, not normal. And whoever this dude is, I'm showing you this story, but these are distracting me because they're squirrels. But the Star of Ishtar always kind of gets me going because there it is right there. The Purge is a pretty terrifying concept. One night a year where all crime is legal, where murder, rape, torture are our social safety valve. Long story short, it comes from Saturnalia. Shocking, surprising. I cannot believe it. Here's the deal. How about this? And I get it. It's easy for me to say. It's easy. I'm not married. I don't have any kids. Richie, I am awake. I'm woke. Richie from Boston. I am woke. 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 But I have kids, and I have to celebrate Christmas or I'll make them cry. Check this out. Do you think that your child would respect you more in 15 years because there was still a place for them to live, grow up, go to school, make a living, fall in love, walk a dog, smell the air, drink clean water, because you stood your ground and told them what was really up? Or you just went along because you didn't want to make a little kid cry for a day, or you didn't want to make people look at you? Do you see what I'm saying? That's the problem with everybody, man. That's the absolute problem with everybody. That's why they interjected politically correct into the American zeitgeist, because they knew they could work people and make them feel bad for saying words, even if the words were for your own good. That's why everybody's a bunch of pussy crybaby. Ooh. No, Google. I won't say it, but you know what I was going to say. You know what I mean? It is absolutely amazing to me that people are just going to let it, I don't know, go right over the fall. We're all going over the falls in a barrel. All going over the falls in a barrel. I just froze my butt off, and Mike Decker probably did too, or maybe it's not time yet. Standing outside to videotape the moon, because there's a lot of things in the Bible, and I've told you this once, I'll tell you this again. There will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars. I go out there. If I see the moon actually sees me, how about that? I'll walk right by it. If you notice this right here, this is moving. This crater is moving like a sea anemone, excuse me, or an urchin. I apologize. But that is video. You can stop that. You could probably put some editing software and prove that this is not from atmospheric lensing. This is moving. So, long story short, if the moon's out there, I'm out there, and I was freezing. You can see the camera shaking because my hands were very, very cold. But after that, I took a walk down the beach because I knew nobody would be out there, and nobody was out there. So I was walking on God's creation, looking at God's creation, and I was watching stars or satellites, quote unquote, moving about in the sky. And gosh darn it, those satellites are really low and close and very, very clear. And they seem to have an awareness of you. I ain't going to stop doing this until they shoot me. And that's probably what's going to come, or come and take me, but those will go hand in hand. I mentioned this to you the other night, and I'm saying this because it's almost the holiday season. It's almost the new year, January 1st, the dead of winter. Nothing's growing. Nothing's alive. The days are the shortest. It's the new year. Yeah. April Fools. No, it ain't. If this is what it really looks like, where they really are spraying so much that we're getting massive amounts of filament falling from the skies over states in the United States, to the point where it looks like people are throwing yarn in trees, they may be getting ready. I put a video up earlier. I tried to explain what I was thinking the best I possibly could. I showed you all the paperwork. Excuse me. Here, let me show you this so you can see it better. Ready? Watch this. That was fancy, right? At any rate, someone will say that was an Illuminati signal of some sort, but at any rate, I don't care. If you can't make fun of yourself, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? So check this out. If they are ramping it up, if they are using power outages, exponentially spraying more stuff in the sky to the point where we're getting excess sticking to trees and poles and such for me to film and other people too, if they really are going to try to pull off some holographic secret weapon crazy thing over the holidays, make a conscious decision now. Hit your knees. Are you going to let them take you, or are you going to resist to the point where they're going to do the other? Because I'm not going back into a steel box. I just ain't. I've been there. Concrete and steel box, lights on all night, guards walking by every 2 hours or worse. I'm all set. But to be perfectly honest, that's something you might want to think about. This life is not all there is. Me and Brandon were talking about this the other night, man. Another 10 years of this. Look how fast everything has snowballed. Transgenders, bathrooms, remember that? Target. Oh, that's crazy. No, look at it now. It's an absolute free-for-all. We have 15-year-old mentally incoherent people from other countries, Greta, that are now the spokesman for global warming, telling us the oceans are rising when we can prove the oceans aren't rising. The oceans aren't rising. The oceans aren't rising. So if that's where we're going, and Science and Time Magazine are calling her the person of the year, people like me, you, and Mike Decker, and Russian Vids, Organic Mechanic. What's up, Russian Vids, brother? And Big Sib. This will be no place for old men. There's no place for us. I don't want to be here. So think about that. That's my holiday wish to you. When they come, are you going to let them take you? I'm not. Richie from Boston, and I'm out.